Hi there, my name is Valerie, and this is my channel, Higher Thinking with Valerie U. If it's your first time here, thank you for clicking on this video. It's probably the title that brought you here, or maybe you're a subscriber already. Thank you for being a subscriber. Anyway, I wanted to get right into what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm looking a little rough, you guys, because tonight was a hard night of being a single mom. So this video is kind of just a little glimpse of what they don't tell you about being a single mother. Specifically, okay? Single mother. I can't speak for a single dad because I'm not a dad. I'm the mom, okay? So being a single parent is kind of like very general, right? So anyway, let's get into it. What they don't tell you about being a single mom. Two things come to mind that are huge, okay? Number one is women need more sleep than men, okay? This is like science. Women and men are not created equal, and I know that, women have fought to be equal to man, but the thing is, it's not that one of us is greater than the other, that male is greater than female or female is greater than male. It's not anything like that I'm trying to say. It's that we are created differently, and meaning it's clear as day that we're created differently because one of us is the ones that have the child and feed the child, right? And is more maternally attached to the child because they came from us physically. Fathers play a different role when it comes to children, when it comes to babies, right? Their role in the parent in the dynamic of the family is different than the mother's, right? The mother just naturally takes on more because she's the one that was pregnant with the baby, right? So she's the one that provides the milk and the baby wants the mom, right? So anyway, in my opinion, the father is the one that just needs to be able to support the mom. And yeah, of course, bond with your baby, right? But the baby majority has to be, is that even a word? Majority of the time needs to be with the mom. So anyway, yeah, women need more sleep than men. Women, we both hold feminine and masculine energies. Whether you're a man, men hold masculine and feminine energies, women hold masculine and feminine energies. But you can see, right, when a man has more feminine energy, right, he might be like, I feel like a man that has more feminine energy could be gay, like to paint his nails, like to put on makeup, whatever. He might still dress like a guy, like a clean kind of, like man clothes, but like in a clean kind of way. But yeah, likes to paint his nails and do his makeup, like feminine, right? He might even talk a little feminine, so he's more feminine than masculine. And then there's women, right, that they don't necessarily like have to dress like a guy or whatever, but they might be more in their masculine because they work really hard and they what's another masculine trait? um I feel like working hard is like, they might like constantly be chasing. That's a masculine trait. Giddy, a go-getter, um like constant go-getter, like um I feel like men, it's like, I feel like a masculine trait that men typically have. They're like, if they're more masculine, is they're always trying to do a project or like, you know, take the girl out that they like they're trying to win her heart over. They're trying to, start businesses. Like, there, don't get me wrong, like I said, women can do the same thing, But there needs to be a balance, right? Um, Between the masculine and the feminine. Like, so as a woman, so when it comes to being a single mom, and like I said, the mother has like certain roles, and feminine energy is more of like receiving, nurturing, creativity, and like I said, men can have these traits too. Everybody's different with like what they lean more into, and how they express their masculine energies and their feminine energies. It's different for everyone. So, but as far as like being the receiver and the nurturer, that is like by God's design already in women. And I feel like a masculine trait is disciplining and directing and guiding, which mothers can do that. Mothers can guide and teach and direct. We can do that. But I feel like, so this is the thing about being a single mom that people don't tell you, is that having to be like the loving, nurturing, right? Like, okay, let's snuggle. I love you. Let's play with your stuffed animals. Let me read you a book. And when you're acting up and you're writing on the walls and you're being naughty on purpose, I also got to be the one to discipline you and tell you that is not right. You're going to clean that up. All right, we're going to pick up all these toys, whatever, time out, or you can't play with this anymore. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's married women with husbands, okay, that have to do that every once in a while. But when you are a single, things that they don't tell you about being a single mom is that you have to, they emphasis on the fact that you have to be mother and father. And it is difficult to be nurturing and disciplining every single day, depending on how the day goes. It's hard to take on both of those roles. It is very difficult. It's like trying to run a business all on your own. That's what it's like. Except you're raising the future generation. And don't get me wrong, there are so many single moms. Shout out to my single moms, because whatever your reason is for being a single mom, your husband passed away, your baby daddy left you, he was abusive, whatever your situation is, it is not an easy route, but some of us have to take it. Some of us have to take the route being a single mom. And um, as a single mom, I will tell you it takes a lot of inner strength, mental strength. You just have to be strong and well-rounded. And you take it day by day, okay? And we do it because these are our children. Like, you'll be surprised at what you can do when you have to. When you have to, you'll be surprised at what you have to do. So, taking on the role of mother and father, that is like someone trying to run an entire business on their own. It's a lot. It's a lot. So it's not very fun some days. And I think that's what the number one challenging thing for me as a single mom is that I just would like to be more of the nurturing side. And it's not because like I'm feminine, like it has nothing to do with that. It's just that the disciplinary side of me is like, it's not my forte. I don't know if that's even a word. I looked it up one time and I don't think it is a word. It's not my expertise. It's not something that I enjoy doing. It's not, I don't like being in that energy. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I don't like being in that masculine disciplinary energy, but I have to be because I am the only one here. I'm the only adult in the house, okay? Which brings me to my second point. Things they don't tell you about being a single mother is that when when you're a single mother, you are, like I said before, you're doing everything, which also means that you are providing. So not only are you being mother, father in the home, but you're also being the provider financially, which means sometimes it means you leave the home. Sometimes some people work in the house. It doesn't matter how you get your money, right? You have to provide because kids have to eat. Kids need clothes because they're growing. You got to pay for dentist. You got to pay for toothpaste. You got to pay for pull-ups, however old your kids are. When they're growing up, pay for sports. Whatever, kids cost money, all right? We know that. Someone falls off their bike and breaks their arm, you got to go pay that hospital bill. You never know what's going to happen with kids. Point is that you're doing, like I said, you're running a whole business yourself, but this is the point that I'm trying to make. When you're alone and you have everything on you, and especially if you have multiple kids, which I have multiple, okay? I don't have just one. I have 3, okay? When chaos breaks loose in the house and you got one kid crying because the other one hit them, and then the other one's in the kitchen trying to get something to eat, and there's jelly all over the floor, and you're literally on a phone call with the bank because your account got overdrafted and you weren't expecting that to get overdrafted, and you're wondering what happens, and it's like, that's it. You don't have backup. Now you have to either call them back or, have them hear yelling kids in the background, right? Whatever. Let's just say, I don't know, what would I really do in that situation? I'd be freaking stressed. I'd probably put them on mute, probably yell a little bit because I'm so overwhelmed. Like, what are you doing? Why are you hitting your brother? Go to the other one. What are you doing in the kitchen? I'm telling you, kids will get into stuff 1-2 minutes. If you're in the bathroom, you're using the bathroom, you come out, eggshells all over the floor because you're just gone for 2 minutes. Like, I'm telling you, that's how kids are, okay? So I don't have backup. The thing they don't tell you about being a single mother is you don't have backup. So just imagine chaos, okay? It just goes back to my analogy of running a business alone, okay? Children aren't business, but they are an investment and they are the future. So they're even bigger than a business, you guys. Their legacy being left behind on planet Earth. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, you guys. It is what it is. So shout out to the single mothers that have a community of helpers, whatever that is. You have your school system, you're involved in the school and the teachers are great. They love your kids. Or maybe you have like a really valuable, really reliable, your kids like this babysitter or this nanny that you have. Or maybe you have grandparents that are really involved in their life, auntie, uncle. So I have family that helps me out. Like, my family is like the biggest help that I've had for years. Doesn't mean that everything's always pretty, right? But like, they've always been there. So that's all I can really say. They have always been there for the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've had help. But even with help, though, at the end of the day, it's you and your kids when you're a single mother. Things that they don't tell you about being a single mother. Every single mom's situation is different. Some single moms are getting child support. Some single moms are, sharing the kids with the father, blah, blah, blah. The fact of the matter is that if you are a single mother, okay, and you are not living with another man, whether that is your baby daddy or a boyfriend, I don't know who else, okay? If there's not a man figure that is disciplining and helping you raise your kids that in your home, you are doing it on your own, okay? And if you are a single mother that lives alone with your children, then you don't have backup. You are the only adult in the home. So that's really like the main things that I just kind of wanted to share with people, just shed some light on the journey of single motherhood, okay? And it's nothing to like throw a party about. It's just for me to give people insight for those that care, okay? And um, I really do not want to see no hate comments in the comments because I already know how some people are. Oh, you chose to be a single mom. Oh, it's not our fault that you had kids. It's like, dude, get out of here with that, okay? Because this is not about me having a pity party. This is just me expressing to you guys this is important for people to know, not to feel bad for single mothers, just to shed some light and some knowledge to people about um, things that they that single mothers don't really talk about out loud. Things that people should know about single mothers because maybe they might give mothers more grace, these single moms more grace and more help. Okay, if you know a single mom in your life, um, if there's any way that you could help her, if watching her kid so she can go, get her nails done or something like that. Like there's so many things that I can't do too. Like my time is very limited. Like if you do spend time going and hanging out with a friend, that's another thing about being a single mom. You feel guilty for doing anything for yourself. It makes you feel bad. Even sometimes me, like when I get upset because, or I have to keep restarting the video because I don't want a kid screaming in the background, or like my kids coming into the camera and doing the most, like, or whatever, or there, whatever it is, like I feel bad just for doing something for me, you know. It's just so easy to lose yourself in motherhood, and it's even more easier to lose yourself in motherhood when you're a single mom because it's your whole life. It's everything, right? So I do my best to make moments for myself as a single mom. I'm spiritual. So I always know that even if I don't physically have someone here by my side, and like I said, I have help from my family and super grateful for that. Thank you. Um, but I know that I have angels that watch over me and my kids. I know that there's something bigger than me that um, is has helped me this past 5 years being a single mom. Like, I one day in the future when I've done more nervous system regulations and I've done so much work on myself to this point. But one day I'll be able to talk more about my journey um, being a single mom for the past 5 years and all the things that I've gone through. Um, Dude, I just heard a noise and I just like shivers up my spine. See what I'm saying? Nervous system regulation. Um, I still have, you guys, I still have a lot of trauma from these past 5 years of being a single mom. Things that they don't. The last thing I'm gonna leave this on this note. This video is longer than I thought it was gonna be. But I'm gonna leave it on this note, okay, to end this video. Um, I can't speak for other single moms, but I feel like this could be a collective thing for single moms because whatever your reasoning is for, I would say this is collective. I wouldn't say this is a personal. I think that single moms, they go through a lot of trauma, and I'm not saying that something traumatic happens like they get into a car accident with all their kids in the car or something crazy like that. I'm talking about like the fact that you are carrying so much on your own, and when you have this like chaos break loose in front of you, or when you come to the realization, because sometimes like I'm just going through the motions and there's some days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I do this all on my own. Or when chaos is breaking loose in the house and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's one of me and three of them. It's traumatic. And I know it sounds kind of like, it's not just that, you guys. It's just really hard to explain, especially if you're a single mom for a long period of time. Like, I've been doing this for years alone. And yes, like I said, you have help, but you don't actually have a help like it would be if you had your partner with you, like a husband and wife taking care of their kids together and teaming up and helping each other pay the bills. Someone does this, someone tackles that. I don't have that. A lot of single moms don't have that. It's all on me. It's all on us single moms. Okay, so it can be very traumatic because nobody should be raising children on their own. Children are not meant to be raised by one person. It does take a community of people. It takes a lot of support and love from the family, on both sides of the family, if you're lucky to have that. But, you know, for one, the parents, right? But like, unfortunately, you know, in the at least here in the United States, like we're probably I'm not gonna say we are number one in divorce and single parents and C sections and obesity and heart disease. Like this country, you know, it's got its problems, but it also has its positive side. So I like to focus on the positive. But with all that being said, you guys, um, I what keeps me going is obviously like just because I'm a single mom, I don't use that as um, a victim. I don't victimize myself. Even if you think that me making this video is me victimizing myself, I don't. I keep on going because my kids deserve a good life. I keep on going because I know that things are gonna keep getting better. Things have gotten better, you guys, than they were 2, 3 years ago. 2 years ago, okay. And I also know that I'm not going to be alone forever. I just have to keep going, you know. 5 years ago, I was 4 or 5 years ago. I'll just throw this in really quick, okay? Because, like I said, I'm not in a place where I really want to talk too much about this. But let's just say, I'll just throw this in for you guys. 4 to 5 years ago, I was at rock bottom where I was going through depression, just trying to hang on. It's not that I was gonna unalive myself or anything like that, but like when you're depressed, all you want to do is lay in bed and feel sorry for yourself, okay? But I had to fight through that because I had 2 little children that were depending on me. And if I didn't have them, I wouldn't have no will to keep going. And I didn't know if things were ever going to get better. And I ended up having a third, you guys, like 2 years later, right? After, like, yeah, like about 2 years later after my second was born. And I was already at rock bottom living in my parents' basement with my kids. And then I ended up with 3 kids living in my parents' basement. Long story short, I was mentally like going through it, and emotionally my mind and my heart was, my spirit was broken, but my heart had hope, and I knew, and it had faith, and I didn't know how or when it was going to happen, but I knew things were going to get better. Flash forward to now, I finally live on my own. I'm making more money than I've ever made before. It's a manifestation, but it's also a blessing, and a well-deserved blessing, because I paid my karmic debt and I healed and I did the work and I learned. Okay, so I'm not just a random single mom. I am a single mom who has put in a lot of work on herself, and I'm doing my best, even when it feels, and this is for any single mom that's watching this, and sometimes it feels like you're still not doing enough, or that you are not enough because you don't have the perfect family. The fact that I keep showing up and I keep moving forward, even if I make mistakes, even if I yell at my kids, not that you should be, but if I'm super freaking angry and I'm holding a whole business together, like, yeah, I'm gonna lose my fuse, you know what I mean? I'm gonna pop a bottle, not not drinking, I'm like, pop a fuse is what I'm trying to say. So that's really it, you guys. That's really it. One day when I feel like, going more into depth about stuff, then I will. But I really need to end this video. It's super long, but I hope that somebody found some kind of solace in this message, okay? Single moms out there, you are not alone, okay? I know what it's like. And one thing, okay, I keep saying I'm going to end it, but I really got to add this in here, okay, because it just popped up in my head. One thing that I learned on this journey of being a single mom these past 5 years is that as much as you think having a boyfriend or moving on from your ex or whatever is going to make you feel better or, help you raise your kids, the best thing that you can do as a single mom, and it just depends on your situation, okay? But for me, the best thing that I ever did was turn all my attention and effort into myself, and I put in work on myself, and I just ignored all the distractions, or I did my best to, okay? Because there was times where I did relapse, like not like drugs, you guys, like where I did like I made a mistake or two, right? Like I might have talked to like a guy from my past who I know was toxic, right? And that was just kind of like going the wrong way. Like you're driving and you take the wrong exit, and then you have to go remember, you know how pissed off you get when you take the wrong exit and you have to go all the way around and you have to go back on the right road, and you're like 15 minutes off. Like you literally spent 15 minutes just because you made the wrong turn. That's what happened to me along the way as I was working on myself. And that might happen, okay? You might get distracted, you might mess up here and there, but like now, you guys, where I'm at now is where you see me right now in the screen, okay? Where I am trying to help people and share my story and help people to prevent them from I'm not going to say making mistakes, from going through things that you don't need to go through and save yourself the trouble. It's like someone saying like, oh yeah, I'm going grocery shopping at Whole Foods. I got to go buy some fruit. And someone's like, oh, you know where I just bought fruit from? And it's fresh too, and it's good. And it's only 84 cents for 5 bananas. But like at Whole Foods, or like I went to this market and they're having a sale on all the fruit. It's like $1 for like a pint of blueberries, and like $2 for a pint of strawberries, and 89 cents for that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to give you guys some insight, some stuff, so you don't have to experience some stuff. If you're a single mom, okay, this is what I need to tell you. This is what I want to tell you. The last thing you want to do is find a boyfriend, have intercourse with him, because that having intercourse with people is a whole other story, okay? Which I can talk about that some other time, okay? But you don't want to be doing that. That is, especially if you have kids or multiple kids, okay? Like me, like it took me 3 kids for me to finally get to where I'm at now. That's what it took for me, because I had to learn the way that my soul came here to learn. I didn't have guidance in this physical realm. I didn't have somebody, and people might think because I grew up in church or I have both parents or whatever, that I have all this, that, oh, I should have known better and this, that. The truth is that I didn't. The truth is that I found out a lot of very deep spiritual lessons, because we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. I learned very spiritual lessons through actually experiencing physical life. And it was painful. It was a painful ride. But it all got me to where I'm at today, and for that I'm grateful. For that I am grateful. I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. I hope this helps somebody out there, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.